Hi, Kim from ACF Investigations Unit here. Today is a really exciting day at ACF because downstairs we have an optical gas imaging camera, or OGI camera for short. Now, if you haven't seen our other videos, and I think there'll be a link here somewhere, the optical gas imaging camera is what we were able to borrow last year to go to a bunch of fossil fuel sites around Australia and check out methane coming straight from the source. Methane is a really polluting, climate heating gas, normally invisible to the naked eye, but with this camera, we can have like predator vision and use infrared technology to actually see the methane and make it visible on film. ACF is the first NGO in Australia to have access to a camera like this. The fact that we have a dedicated OGI camera is going to really help us to raise awareness about this really dangerous gas, and we wouldn't have been able to do that without your support. I'm about to head downstairs and grab the camera right now, but before I do, I'm going to grab my colleagues, lead environmental investigator Annika Shu and methane campaigner Piper Rawlins.
Pass the pass, perfect.
Okay, we've got the boxes, a lot of boxes. We don't know what they all are. So we're just gonna go for it. This is the 6-degree lens.
Proceed with caution.
Cool. So the 6-degree lens is for taking far away shots. So if we can only get within like 500 meters or something. All right, yes, sir.
Oh. God, this is light.
Ooh. It's my baby Bjorn.
Baby Bjorn. Oh my God, cute.
Oh, come in from the side.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yep, and then you clip it around.
Right.
Gorgeous.
This is a soft case for the camera, so sometimes when you're out in the field, there'll be multiple locations around a site that you have to walk like 100 meters between each of them. And in that case, you might want one of these instead of the big hard case here.
This thing is just a tripod.
I think it extends to like 3 meters. It's a lot.
Oh, smells really bad. Oh my God.
Oh, it's very flexible.
Flexible. Yeah?
Yeah. So when I went out in the field with Teo and I wasn't allowed to touch the camera, this was my job.
And boy, did you do that job.
Extending.
Oh.
Tripod.
Beautiful.
And now the main event.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I can put that handle down and scoot you. Oh, sure.
Oh yeah.
Here, just on it.
Hey.
Whoa.
Why does it actually look like a 90s camcorder? Cool.
Here we have the FLIR GX320. Looks like it's already got a lens on here. Surely that... Maybe the camera by itself is 3 kilos. It really feels heavier than that. What lens do we have here? Yes, 24-degree lens. From the strap already on it. Hold that.
Yes, please. Okay. So this is the wide lens, which allows us a greater field of view, but isn't as useful when you're really far away. And the other lens is for greater distances. Got a little screen here.
And I think you can move that all around. So sometimes you might end up on the back of a ute and you have to look up at it. And then sometimes you might have the camera really low to the ground and you can move it so you can always see it.
Smart.
Yeah.
Do you want to take the thing off the screen?
Oh, as part of the unboxing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, me?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
couple of batteries here. I think you can do about 2 or 3 hours of work on this. Like not 2 or 3 hours continuous filming, but that's why there's 2, because you will definitely need 2 if you're out in the field for a day. Battery charger and screwdriver.
Interesting.
I just can't believe that I'm holding this, because there were so many times when we nearly gave up on getting one of these.
Really?
Yeah. I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to raise the funds.
Amazing.
And we didn't know yet whether it was going to be worthwhile in the Australian context. But then we proved that it was. And now here we are.
It is.
Here we
in your
are.
hands.
Only environmental org in Australia with one?
Only NGO.
Oh,
Full stop. In
accolade.
Australia.
We've got to do something with it.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
immediately in Queensland.
Over the years, we've been looking into the technology and what it can do, and also like whether it's being deployed in Australia already yet, right? And we've discovered that many environmental regulators that are actually responsible for this sort of pollution don't have these cameras.
Whoa.
And the majority of players in Australia that own the cameras are fossil fuel companies themselves. So we're the first NGO to own one of these outright and have it at our disposal.
Yeah.
And it's going to massively level the playing field and probably really open up people's eyes to what's going on out there at fossil fuel facilities across the country. We've had a measly 2.5, 3 weeks in the field with this.
ACF has been lucky enough to test one of these for 2 weeks, but it is still brand new to us. We're all going to go through training to learn how to use this properly. We're going to learn a lot along the way and just keep getting better and better and better at it, so that we have this camera and these skills as a resource for the whole movement. Because no one else in the country has access to this except the fossil fuel industry.
Yeah. And I think for like the environmental regulators, it'll be an important resource to them and probably help justify them purchasing one themselves. And for some more receptive fossil fuel companies, particularly the ones that use gas as their commodity, like gas companies, they might be pleased to know when we found a leak. So we've just got an absolute investigative feast ahead of us using this.
Yeah, we've definitely leveled up our ability to hold big polluters to account.
If the fossil fuel companies have one of these cameras, they use them for leak detection and repair. Why do we need one?
Because sometimes it's not economical to stop a leak. Sometimes it's better for the company in terms of their bottom line to keep a leak going. That's not better for the environment or for climate. There are some forms of methane leaks that are not detected and not monitored by companies or the government. And there are some forms of methane being vented openly into the atmosphere that are known and not prevented or regulated at all. And part of this work will be about visualising that sort of thing and really helping bring the Australian public on board, helping them understand methane and really be able to see it with their own eyes.
And in terms of the public being able to understand methane, when these companies are going out there with this camera to detect leaks and to detect leaks and emissions at their own facilities, do they have to report that to the public?
No, they don't, and they definitely don't. And sometimes they're known to be aware of leaks and withhold that from all involved and not address them at all. And we've got examples of, members of the community who really care about these sorts of things, reporting leaks at wells that they can hear and no action being taken. So this sort of thing is really going to be able to cut through those sorts of issues.
Because without this camera, they can't prove that there is a leak there. But with this camera, they can.
With this camera and with us having appropriate training, yes. And that's a really important thing, is we want to do this properly. We want to be even keeled with it, and we want to know that we really are seeing methane when we're saying we're seeing methane. So yeah, part of it is being with a big, responsible, non-government organisation like ACF. We can do it in a way that we're shooting straight. We have the respect of regulators, and companies will listen.
And also helping communities who are affected by fossil fuel projects.
Yes, absolutely. And the reason that a lot of government agencies don't own these, and the reason that a lot of fossil fuel companies do, is because they're fairly expensive. And it's really a great pleasure for ACF to have the great donors that we have and to have the support of so many members of the Australian community.
Yeah.
We're completely funded by members of the Australian community. We don't get any government money or anything like that. Just people who care about the issues as much as we do. And that's what's brought this into existence, which is a beautiful thing.
What are you excited to find with this for your methane campaign, trying to raise public awareness about methane, trying to put a spotlight on polluters who are getting away with methane pollution? What are you excited for us to catch with this year?
Yeah, I'm excited to expose the realities of methane emissions in Australia and show how much they're undermining our ability to actually meet climate commitments. I'm excited to help communities who have been suffering because of coal and gas companies expose methane leaks close to their homes.
So there you have it. This is the first optical gas imaging camera to be owned by an environmental NGO in Australia.
Thanks, and see you in the field.